Hello. Okay,
Hi.
I got my buddy Levi here with me. We want to address a news article that we recently saw about people growing horns. People growing horns on their head from their smart devices. So very catchy, interesting headline, of course. What it actually means is that people are growing a larger external occipital protuberance, EOP. And so what happens when our necks, our bodies, our skeletal system is under excess stress, our body's smart, and so it adapts. And I definitely wanted to address this as a chiropractor. I wanted to share things that we do in our homes to kind of buffer the use of smart devices, because I do feel it's just somewhat of a reality of our kids these days. So what happens is people are spending more and more time. The article in particular was about kids. However, I don't think kids are the ones that are maxing out their smart devices. I think it's us. But what's happening is that because we're all spending a lot of time in this position, it's putting a ton of strain, turn that way, back here on our heads and necks. And so for kids who are developing rapidly, this is a little bit more of an issue. So what we do in our home is two main things, really three main things. So we limit the time on their devices. So we do anywhere between 20 minutes to 45 minutes max a day, kind of depending on what's going on in our lives. So if Jason and I happen to have more work to do, they get a little extra screen time. The other two things we do are, and we also take, each month we take 1 week off, completely off of smart devices. And honestly, almost every time at the beginning, I'm like, oh gosh, what am I doing? And then it turns out to be our favorite week in the house because we all play games, we interact way more. So that's really important to us as well. And then the other two things we do are we make sure that our kids are in a proper position when they're spending this time on their iPads. So we will show pictures. So if they're seated, they're going to be kind of propped up either with their head supported or their iPad nice and high in front of them so it's not on their lap. One, for neck stability. And then two, for the electromagnetic fields that come out of the devices, I never want them on their laps. So Levi's iPad, all the kids' iPads actually, let's see it right there. We actually put tinfoil behind it to help block some of the radiation too. I do have a video on EMFs where I went around with smart meters and I measured all of our devices, our main devices that we use in our home, to show how much radiation these actually throw off. So important to not let kids have these on their laps, us too. And then the other thing we do is one of my favorite positions for them to be in. It's actually called TV watchers. And so they lay on their stomach, kind of propped up on their arms, which puts a nice extension in the back of the head instead of a flexion, which is where we tend to spend most of our time. Because we're on computers, we're looking down at papers and things like that in school. So anytime we're watching devices, I want to try to force a gentle extension into the spine. All right, so that is our information for you. We don't want anyone growing big horns out of their heads. And so we wanted to address these rumors as well and let you know what they actually mean and more importantly, what you can do to buffer. Have a good one.